knows these are all our goodies. You all die.
Welcome back to Skirmish Miniature Gaming, and we have another Warcry match play battle report for you today. Nighthaunt versus Skaven. Let's go over and check out the warbands for today. So for the Nighthaunt warband today, in the dagger we have a Grimghast Reaper and Chain Rasp. In the hammer we have the same, another Grimghast Reaper and Chain Rasp. And then in the shield they're bringing an ally couldn't care less Cairnwraith, a Dreadwarden leader to bring back lots of new ghosties, a Chain Rasp and a Glavewraith Stalker to top it up. For the Skaven today, in the dagger there's going to be a normal clan rat with shield and melee weapon, another normal clan rat with shield and melee weapon, and a giant rat. Down in the hammer we've got the same again, just duplicated. In true Skaven fashion, just to keep up those numbers. Yes. The Skaven are also taking an ally in the shape of a Grey Seer for a bit of magic, the Bringer of the Word as the leader, a clan rat with shield and melee weapon, and to top it all off, a giant rat ogre with the ranged option rather than the melee. We'll do a quick initial priority roll, Nighthaunt, followed by Skaven, and the Nighthaunt win the roll off. We'll then take the first step and draw a deployment card, which is Clash of Blades. The Nighthaunt won the priority roll, and so will choose to be the blue deployment zone. An interesting deployment where shields are coming in from round 2 onwards from the flanks on either side, coming in behind your initial warband drops. The map setup today features terrain by Warcradle Studios, the Gloomburg town set, beautiful for Warcry, creates lots of platform tops and fits the gloomy setting. We also have the map today by Playmats.eu, the dark town map. You can check both out in the link in the description below. Now we begin deployment, first with the Nighthaunt as it's their initiative, with a Grimghast Reaper and Chain Rasp. Set up opposite them with their dagger is Skaven, with 2 clan rats and the giant rat. Shields don't come in till battle round 2, and so we skip straight onto the hammers, starting with the Nighthaunt with their Grimghast Reaper and Chain Rasp, and then the 2 clan rats and the giant rat opposite on the other side of the board for the Skaven in their hammer. Finishing deployment, the terrain setup looks as follows, with the shields coming in on the flanks from battle round 2. We now go on to flip a victory condition, Realmstone Hunt. In this region, riches are the only language anyone understands. Starting with the player who won the priority roll, which is Nighthaunt, players take it in turns to set up 2 treasure tokens each, anywhere on a platform, more than 4 inches from the battlefield edge, and more than 4 inches from any other treasure tokens. The battle ends after 3 battle rounds. When the battle ends, the player who has the most fighters carrying treasure wins the battle. Starting with the Nighthaunt, since they had priority, they put their first objective token or treasure token up on the top of the highest platform on the map, because they can laugh in the faces of the flightless Skaven. The Skaven continue to place their treasure token on a more mortal related height, back in their own territory. The Nighthaunt then continue to place their second treasure token at least 4 inches away from the first one on top of the ruined windmill. The Skaven have little choices to where to put their last token on the battlefield, so put it still on a low lying platform, but at least 4 inches away from the other tokens, and still close enough to grab it. So we now draw a twist card for the game, Winds of Fate. Players roll 7 initiative dice each battle round instead of 6. This should definitely add an extra thick layer to the game, giving extra abilities and bigger abilities, so maybe more chance for some lush quads. The Nighthaunt will now roll their initiative dice, and it's looking like they've got a double 1, a double 3, a double 6, and just 1 single, so not looking good for initiative, but some really nice doubles in the mix there for the first battle round, maybe a bit of rush. Help grab those treasure tokens early on. Skaven now have their initiative roll and are getting, obviously, that 7th initiative dice still, a double 1, and it's looking like double 3 and 3 singles, so 2 doubles, pretty nice as well for the first battle round, but we'll also definitely have initiative first battle round as the Nighthaunt cannot catch up on singles with their wild dice. Skaven have to choose their wild dice first and choose to bank their wild dice ready for battle round 2. Nighthaunt then respond by not really needing to use theirs either. Not many abilities really get used in the first battle round, so they will bank theirs also. So after resolving initiative, it's going to be Skaven battle round 1. First activation for Skaven will be a clan rat, who will make a short move action up to grab the treasure token, and has to obviously be within an inch to pick it up, and does, and then spends a double 1 to use the ability Rush, since there's no real other use for the doubles in this first battle round, so might as well use it to get some extra movement for this second move action, in which he moves much further away from the Nighthaunt, trying to get within the safety of those other Skaven. The Nighthaunt then have their first activation in the Grimghast Reaper will activate to make a move action with fly, so ignores terrain, and jumps up or flies up to be able to grab that treasure token within an inch, and then use the second action to move straight back down to keep away from those Skaven swarms. The Skaven then have their activation, and the clan rat will now make a 3-inch move to the edge of the house and the wall, another 3 to get up to the top for his 6-inch full move, to pick up that treasure token within an inch. Then we'll make a second move action to actually jump down off of the building, but it's not more than 3 inches high or 3 inches or higher, so therefore won't suffer any impact damage. The Nighthaunt will then activate with a Chain Rasp, making a move action to once again fly up to the top and grab that cheeky treasure token. The Chain Rasp will then for the second action use Rush for an ability for a double 1 to then get an extra inch movement to definitely get enough movement to fly across onto the top of the ruined windmill, and due to flying cannot suffer any fall damage. The giant rat will now have 8 inches of movement for the Skaven to be able to make his way and scurry up to the top of that ruined windmill, perfectly ready for a second action to possibly attack the Chain Rasp. The giant rat will then use a double 3 to use Onslaught for a bonus attack during the attack action against the Chain Rasp. Now rolling 4 instead of 3 dice on 5s due to the toughness 4 of the Chain Rasp. The giant rat gets a critical hit for 3 damage on the Chain Rasp. Flying models can also not be knocked off by crits, and so the Chain Rasp will stay on top in the fight. The Grimghast Reaper on the other side for the Nighthaunt will now activate and fly across with a move action for 5 movement, getting within an inch of the giant rat, to then spend a double on Onslaught to get +1 attack in the next attack action, attacks the giant rat with strength 3, toughness 2 on 3s, and gets a hit and 2 critical hits, more than enough to take out the squimpy little giant rat. The clan rat on the far side for the Skaven will now make a double move worth 12 inches to get all the way around onto the Grimghast Reaper, making sure to push round slightly so that he's further away from the shield that will come in on the flank next battle round from the Nighthaunt. The Nighthaunt's turn to activate, and the Chain Rasp will now be not quite within enough movement even with Rush to get across to that clan rat, so we'll have to make a double move and end up ready for next round to fight the clan rat engaged for action. The giant rat will now activate for Skaven and will make a large, pretty quick 8-inch move all the way across down to the front of the house there, and then a second very large 8-inch dash across, scuttling down underneath the Grimghast Reaper, ready to attack next battle round. The last clan rat in the middle there will just make a simple short move action and end his activation, just to help kind of protect the movement from the Nighthaunt coming in from that shield next battle round in the reserves, to be able to just shield the 2 clan rats with the treasure a bit. Before we go on to battle round 2, we'll take a look at the map. We've got, like I say, the shield from the Nighthaunt coming in next battle round, sure to cause quite a bit of havoc. The Grimghast Reaper down at the bottom has that treasure token but is surrounded, but has a Chain Rasp helping him out. The other treasure for the Nighthaunt is with the Chain Rasp up top there, with the Grimghast Reaper bodyguarding him as well. Then we have that big Skaven shield also coming in behind the Nighthaunt on their flank, with the Rat Ogre. Should be pretty nasty. Going on to battle round 2, the Nighthaunt will roll their initiative first. Rolling out the dice, once again 7 dice due to the twist. We get a triple 5 for the Nighthaunt, a double 4 and a double 1, not a single in there for the Nighthaunt. The Skaven then get their initiative roll, and whoa, what the hell, 1 just went out of the dice tray, and oh my god, there's 5 3s, What on earth happens with 5/3s, I ask you? Well, unfortunately it still remains as a quad as far as we're aware, which is a shame for the Skaven there, but will they give a rat's ass? Probably not. Other than that, they get 2 singles to go towards initiative. Skaven have to choose their wild dice first due to having initiative from the off, and so to make sure that the Nighthaunt can't possibly catch up on singles since they have none at the moment, they add another single with a 2 to make sure that they hold initiative ready for battle round 2. The Skaven then no longer, for their second wild dice that they banked last turn, have many options, so make a double 5, because doubles are always handy, maybe a little scurry away action for the Skaven as you'd always expect from them. The Nighthaunt now go with 2 wild dice and have no use for singles, so make a quad 5, that lush quad action, and a triple 4, because why not for all that spectral summon goodness next round. We will now drop in reserves at the beginning of battle round 2, and the Skaven have initiative and therefore will have to drop in their reserves first. The Skaven dropping in the Rat Ogre with the ranged weapon, the Clan Rat with shield and melee weapon, the Bringer of the Word Leader, the Grey Seer ally, and in behind the Giant Rat. Swooping over to the other side of the map here, as you can see everything going on in the middle, but on the Nighthaunt flank we have a Glaive Wraith Stalker coming in with that nice range 2 weapon. We have the Dread Warden Leader ready to Spectral Summon if needed this round, a Chain Rasp in behind, and the couldn't care less Cairn Wraith. We'll now swiftly move on to battle round 2, and it's Skaven initiative. The Skaven will then take advantage of having the initiative to try and run away with some of that treasure early on, so one of the Clan Rats with the treasure will use Rush for a double ability and make a double move action, with the first move action of 7 inches going down the flank, and then the second move action just to make another swift 7-inch movement to get down into their own half of the table and seek the help and advice of the Magic Ratman. Now for the Nighthaunt's first activation of the round, and the couldn't care less Cairn Wraith is going to fly with 1 move action straight over the building, ignoring the terrain, and then jumping down in the middle of the 2 Clan Rats, and then will really cause some hurt with that quad 5, using the value of 5 on the dice to affect every fighter within 3 inches, so the 2 Clan Rats, and cause 5 damage to each fighter. The couldn't care less Cairn Wraith can then use his second action with a range 2 scythe attack to attack the Clan Rat with the treasure and try and take him out. He's got 3 health remaining. With 4 dice, it needs 3 hits on 4s or a crit, and can't get it. He gets only 1 hit. That's a terrible roll from the Cairn Wraith, and so that could have big implications on the Nighthaunt for the rest of the game. The Clan Rat with the treasure then activates for the Skaven and makes a gesture of insult towards the couldn't care less Cairn Wraith in his general direction and makes a run for the hills, making a 6-inch normal move followed by a second 6-inch normal move to follow up his friend with the treasure. The Grimghast Reaper up top will now activate for the Nighthaunt. He does not quite have enough movement to fly down into that Clan Rat to then be within 2 inches to use the scythe attack, so has to use Rush for a double ability to then get an extra inch to be within 2 inches for the attack action, which he rolls 3 dice for, looking for 5, strength 3, toughness 4, but then ends up with 2 crits, easily finishing off that Clan Rat holding the treasure. He only had 2 health remaining and drops the treasure within an inch. The Skaven aren't really worried about that flank, as they have the treasure fairly well protected and far enough away from the Nighthaunt not to worry, so they activate the big massive Rat Ogre with the massive gun on his arm, and he makes a move action using a quad ability with Rampage, uses the move action to get up for 5 inches to the top of the platform, to then be within 8-inch range to use the cannon, and fires at the Chain Rasp, getting an exceptional and, may I say, ridiculously over the top 2 critical hits on the attack roll, blowing the Chain Rasp back to oblivion, and Nagash will be peed off with that one. The Chain Rasp then drops the treasure token within an inch. The Rat Ogre Gunner will then make a double move, first move action to jump down, and the platform is not more 3 inches or more of height, so he will suffer no impact damage. The second move action, getting up onto the top of the platform and picking up that treasure token. That makes it 3 treasure tokens, in the Skaven's hands really right now, and many middle fingers being held up by the Rat Ogre Gunner. Time for the Nighthaunt to respond and try and come back into this one, so the Grimghast Reaper holding the treasure will try to attack his way out of this one, going into the Giant Rat for an easy kill with 3 attacks on 3s, strength 3, toughness 2, for 2 critical hits, easily wiping the Giant Rat off the face of the earth. The second action will be another attack action on 5s into the shielded Clan Rat on toughness 4, strength 3 with the scythe, getting no hits, highest roll being a 4. The Greyseer Magic Ratman will now activate for the Skaven and make a move across and over, double move, to grab that treasure token within an inch, and he's got a lot of health, so he's going to be holding on to that for, if not the rest of the game, then quite a long time. Nighthaunt will activate with a Chain Rasp and try and put 2 measly attack actions into this Clan Rat and try and take him down. Needing 5s with 3 dice, 2 attack actions, only manages to get 2 damage across the 2 attack actions. The Skaven will unactivate another Clan Rat to catch up with his treasure buddies and help just tie down the back there and help the Skaven play out the rest of the game for the win. With a 6-inch move down the flank, followed up by a second move action of 6 inches to help actually tie up the Grimghast Reaper so that he can't get over to the treasure bearers next round. The Chain Rasp that's just come in on the flank for the shield will make a double move of 12 inches to get across the table in towards the Clan Rat, but will not end within an inch and so will not be engaged next round quite yet with the Clan Rat. The Clan Rat, surrounded by the Nighthaunt, will now make an attack action into the Grimghast Reaper holding the treasure, strength 3, toughness 5, so will definitely be on 5s, 2 hits for the first attack, and just the 1 hit for the second attack action, leading to 3 damage on the Grimghast Reaper overall. The Giant Rat will then activate for the Skaven with a crazy movement of 8 inches, as always using that movement to shield, move round onto the platform and down to then shield the 2 treasure carriers there, blocking the pathway for any more Nighthaunt to possibly make their way over, although it's looking pretty good for the Skaven right now, holding down that corner with their treasure. The Glaive Stalker from the Nighthaunt shield will then make a double move action to get across within 2 inches of that Clan Rat in the middle, ready for next turn to make an attack action. The leader, Bringer of the Word, will make a double move just to pull across in behind the 2 treasure bearers again, shielding them and just trying to play out the game. The Dread Warden will now activate for the last Nighthaunt activation, making a double move to get over and fly over onto the low-lying platform, then using a triple 4 to activate Spectral Summon ability for the Nighthaunt, summoning back that Chain Rasp that died earlier in the battle with 4 health remaining, making sure to drop him within 3 inches, and that Chain Rasp will now be able to activate later in the battle round since he hasn't activated yet this battle round. The lone Clan Rat remaining for the Skaven will make a double move action to move up alongside the windmill there, ready for next battle round. The Chain Rasp that was summoned will now activate and make 2 attack actions on 5s. I mean, this really is David versus Goliath, getting a hit and critical hit from the first attack action, therefore needing to make a fall roll. On a 1 the Rat Ogre would fall but gets a crit, so is okay. Second load of attacks from the Chain Rasp for once again on 5s, getting 1 single hit, meaning 4 damage overall against the Rat Ogre. That is the end of the second battle round. There are only 3 in the game. The Skaven much really holding down the game. Nighthaunt cannot really physically get over an attack to kill those Skaven left with the treasure tokens, and the only fighter they're surrounding that has one is the huge Rat Ogre with a lot of health remaining, and next round he would be able to just make a disengage and move action to run away, meaning that the Nighthaunt would at the very least have to make move and then attack actions to get any sort of damage off into the Rat Ogre, and Nighthaunt are renowned for not making much damage. Therefore, the Skaven are going to be the victors here, and the Nighthaunt will win the battle. We did actually carry on the game just to see what would have happened, and as you can see the Rat Ogre was trapped up top by the Dread Warden and the Chain Rasp. They used Inspiring Presence to make sure they got as much in as they could but caused not much more damage,
and the Rat Ogre did actually fall though due to a critical hit, meaning that on his activation he was free to then make a run for the hills, leaving Skaven with a victory holding 3 treasure, with Nighthaunt only holding 1. I think a lot of the big plays came down to late in the first battle round / early second battle round, especially the couldn't care less Cairnwraith messing up his attack rolls, where he should really have taken out the treasure bearer Clan Rat, which would have helped level out the game, but he didn't get the rolls he wanted, and therefore the Nighthaunt came short, with the Skaven doing what they do best and hitting and scurrying away for the win. I hope that you all enjoyed this new bat rep style and that you enjoyed watching the game and that it was entertaining and better to watch with this higher quality. But otherwise, I'll see you next time guys, and happy skirmishing.
Hey there skirmishers, hope you enjoyed watching that video. If you did, please do throw a like on the video down below and leave us some comments. Otherwise, if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. You can hit the SMG icon left hand side of the screen. Otherwise, you can sign up to Patreon and access our extra videos and battle reports, etc. That will also help fund our terrain, new models, and the time that we put into the channel. And hopefully one day we can keep pushing to make more and more videos for you guys to be entertained by. You can watch our current videos on the right hand side of the screen. Otherwise, really hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day and happy skirmishing.